He is off tonight. We begin with new details on connections between city contractors and the woman who used to run the New Orleans Affordable Home Ownership Program. In fact, city records show one of them built her expensive house in a gated community. As Lee Zurich reports in this 4 Investigates follow-up, the connections could raise more questions for federal and local watchdogs.
New Orleans Inspector General Robert Sarasoli leaves the U.S. Attorney's Office this morning, unable to tell us the reason for his visit, though he has begun investigating the City of New Orleans nonprofit agency, New Orleans Affordable Home Ownership, or NOAA's home remediation program.
Obviously, it is a story that cries out for an investigation. There are too many coincidences, too many close ties to people involved in the Nagin administration.
Metropolitan Crime Commission President Raphael Goyeneche says at the center of any inquiry will likely be Stacey Jackson, the former executive director of NOAA. In past reports, we've told you about Jackson's ties to the 2 highest paid contractors in the program. She's had a prior business dealing with Richard Hall, the head of Hall Enterprises, and he told us in a phone interview he knows Jackson, quote, very well. And the second highest paid contractor, Parrish Duplessis owner Trella Smith, also co-owns a clothing store in Canal Place with Stacey Jackson. And Jackson is a current employee of Smith's advertising company. And tonight, Eyewitness News learns Jackson also has ties to the 3rd highest paid contractor, Myers & Sons, which earned $168,000 in the home remediation program. Before the storm, Jackson and her husband built this house in Eastover. The builder, Myers & Sons. City records show the house at 160 Oakmont with Stacey Jackson as the owner, Myers the contractor. The cost of the proposed house, $230,000, and the size, 4,300 square feet. That means, according to this document, the house was built 4 years ago at a cost of $53 per square foot.
That I think, obviously ethics, but I think that something like that could also cross the line into something more sinister, something involving a potential criminal violation.
And there's more. After Katrina, Jackson did more work to her home in Eastover, but in another permit filed with the city, the owner of 160 Oakmont Street is listed as Sterling Doucette. City records show a Sterling Doucette of Doucette Associated Contractors earned more than $15,000 in the home remediation program. And for a house at 1210 Burdett, a permit filed in April of 2005 shows Myers & Sons did work there. The same house Stacey Jackson claims is her printing company, according to Secretary of State records. It's also the same address that, according to assessor records, Jackson owns with Jamisha Turner. And another property Jackson's printing company owns on 6th Street. City records show that had a permit in 2007. The contractor, Myers & Sons. And NOAA confirms Myers & Sons has done work for the nonprofit for at least the last 5 years. And tonight we also get reaction from the attorney from the 4th highest paid contractor, Cedric Smith, who is also the brother-in-law of New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin.
Mr. Smith has turned over a lot of documents, and we're looking at the paperwork. His position that he did nothing improper. He got the application. He filled it out.
Yesterday, the mayor said he had no conversations with the executive director of NOAA about hiring his brother-in-law.
Is there any conflict in your mind or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
But that comment is far different from what Nagin said in 2002, when Smith acquired a big chunk of a company that had a lucrative contract with the RTA.
I was floored when I found out about this because, I had someone who was with me throughout the campaign and listened to most of my speeches, understood where I was coming from, and that, it should have been very clear to him that I am very opposed to these types of deals.
A deal that Smith later backed out of. Lee Zurich, Eyewitness News, Night Watch.